Hey there, this is Tracy, high energy girl and health coach, and today's workshop is about the importance of dietary fat. Yes, it is good for you. You need to eat it. So my goal here is always to inspire you to live your very best life, to increase your energy, eat real, fresh, whole, clean food, and to get fit. So we're going to talk about fat. So why do we need to eat fats? Well, my favorite reason is because we need it to have energy to work out. So Medline Plus says your body also needs them for brain development, controlling inflammation, and blood clotting. And we know how important that is. Inflammation is the root of disease. So we really need to control our inflammation. So WebMD says that we can't live without them. They keep our skin soft, deliver fat-soluble vitamins, which are A, D, E, and K, and they are a great source of energizing fuel. So A, D, E, and K are super important. You know that A and E are two very, very powerful antioxidants. And D is my favorite vitamin because we get it from the sun. And that's like one of the best ways to get it actually is from the sun. And it is known as the happy vitamin. So you know when you go outside and you exercise, you feel so much better because of that. So without fat, we can't have the good absorption of vitamin D. And lastly, you know, I'm getting certified again to be a personal trainer. And my book is from the National Council on Strength and Fitness. And that book says that we need fat because for the transportation of molecules in the blood, storage of nutrients and vitamins, it aids our nervous system, formation of hormones, protection of organs, regulation of body temperature, formation of cell membranes. Okay, so I'm sure that you see enough reason why we need to eat fat. However, all fats are not created equal. Okay, really important here. Trans fat, if you were to avoid one ingredient that you never, ever consumed, it would be trans fat. The city of New York recently banned the use of trans fat, which is the partially hydrogenated blank oil, okay? Hydrogenated oils, those are also called trans fats. Now, the city of New York, they banned those from their restaurants, and in banning that, they estimated they're going to save as many lives as are killed in traffic accidents every year. So can you imagine? That is amazing. Now, saturated fat, you want to consume less than 10% of your daily dietary needs from saturated fat. Monounsaturated fat, you want to do approximately 15%, and polyunsaturated fat, about 10%. Now, overall, your fat consumption, you want approximately 30% or less of your daily calories to come from fat. So just shoot for around 30%. And contrary to popular belief, we actually do need cholesterol. We need approximately 1,000 milligrams a day, and our body only is able to produce about 70% of that need, which translates to we need to consume through dietary sources approximately 300 milligrams a day. Now, for me, I would get that from my eggs because, you know, we have our chickens, and that's pretty much the best form of cholesterol for me, but you will also find it in other foods, and we'll talk about that in a second. So food sources, trans fat. So where do you find your partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated oils? It's all from processed crap that you shouldn't be eating anyway. So it's not really that hard to avoid. Cut the crap out of your diet and you will be avoiding trans fatty acids. Okay, saturated fat. You mostly get your saturated fat from meat and from dairy products. And the cholesterol, like I said earlier, I get that from eggs, and then you can also get it from beef. Now, different types of beef have different amounts of cholesterol, and so you want to pay attention to that. So basically, it's not a big deal. I don't know anybody who says, oh gosh, my cholesterol is too low. So anyways, and our body, like I said, we do need to eat some cholesterol to, so we meet our dietary needs for that. Other sources would be like shellfish, which I eat very little of that, but you know, like if you're going to eat shrimp or something, and then if you want to gag down some liver, that works too. Now, the good fats, the really, really good fats are monounsaturated fat, which is like olive oil, avocado, and sesame oil. Those are my three favorites. And polyunsaturated fats, my favorites on that would be walnuts, because we have 7 trees and I have a ton of walnuts in my garage. Sunflower seeds, love putting those on my salad. Sesame seeds, I love putting sesame oil in my salad dressings. Chia seeds, put those in my shakes every morning, absolutely love them. And peanuts and fish. Now the fish would be like your higher omega fish, which would be like salmon, tuna, things like that. And the omegas, we have omega-3 fatty acid, which is the one we want to supplement with because we don't get enough from our diet, and omega-6 and omega-9. Okay, so those are part of the polyunsaturated fat family. Now, we need fat. Do you remember back, I think I was in high school or college, when it was the big fat-free food. Everything was fat-free. Remember Entenmann's? Oh, I can have cake. It's fat-free. No big deal. It won't kill me. And, you thought, oh, you can gorge on that. Well, that was the start of the obesity epidemic. Obesity rates have doubled. Now, why? Why, if we're not eating fat, do you think that happened? Well, essentially, they thought, well, if you don't eat fat, then you won't get fat and you can lose your fat. Well, what was happening is they replaced it with sugar, and we know how horrible sugar is. I'll have to do another workshop on sugar. So, one thing you also want to be careful of is your smoke points. So I hear people telling me they cook with extra virgin olive oil all the time, and that's not really that good because most of the time you're not cooking at a low enough temperature, and so you would create a smoke point, which is not good and not healthy. So some of my favorite oils, and here's their smoke points. So regular just olive oil, like I buy the organic virgin olive oil that has a smoke point of 420. So when I roast vegetables in the oven at about 400, that works, okay? Extra virgin olive oil, the smoke point is 320. Butter, a little higher, 350. Peanut oil is really, really high, and that's why when we do the deep fried turkey, my husband's cousin does that, it has a 450 degree smoke point. Coconut oil is like butter, but it's healthier. So that's also a 350, and avocado oil is very high at 420. And I saw avocado oil recently, and I bought some from Costco. So that's another really good thing to have. And it's really good to vary your diet. So try a little bit of all of these and see how they make your food taste and see, what happens. Just be careful not to smoke it. So when your recipe says to preheat the oil in the pan, watch it and get it, right when it's preheated. Don't overdo it so it smokes and then it burns the pan anyways and it's a pain to get out. Now, when you overheat oil, it destroys the nutrients and it creates free radicals. And we know that free radicals are not good in our body, okay? So just make sure that you don't overheat your oil. And I'm giving out my favorite famous salad dressing recipe. Okay, so this is super duper easy. It's super good and it's really low in fat compared to other, like say the Good Seasons Italian, because you're using more non-fat stuff than you are the fat stuff. And we know that extra virgin olive oil is so good for you that it really doesn't matter. All right, so half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, half a cup balsamic or your favorite vinegar. I've used apple cider vinegar before, but for whatever reason in this recipe, balsamic tastes better. Red wine vinegar tastes pretty good too. 4 cloves of garlic and a tablespoon of Dijon, and you stick it in the blender. That way, the particles or the molecules of the oil at a high-speed blender will break down and the dressing will not separate. So it will stay together and stay tight without separating. So it's really, really good. All right, you guys, so what are you going to try this week? Something new. Are you going to try cooking with coconut oil maybe this week, or roasting your vegetables with some regular olive oil or avocado oil? Always, always try something new, because the key to success in your diet is having a colorful plate and a large variety of food. Don't get stuck in a rut, all right? So write something in your journal, schedule it, and always my disclaimer is this video is simply my opinion and I may be wrong, so take what you want and just leave the rest. So please post questions on my Facebook page It's the High Energy Girl page, and join us for our live Q&A conference call. I'm sorry for the last 2 weeks got messed up because I'm taking a class, but we will be back on schedule this Monday. So the number is 712-432-1212. That's 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Meeting ID is 823-792-084#. So that's it for me. Have a blessed day, everyone.